cool. Let's get this party started, sis.
Let's go. Let's go. What's up, sis? Hey, this is season 3, episode 10. This is our final episode.
This is the end of season 3, episode 10.
Yep.
Oh my God, we can ready to start season 4.
Isn't that crazy? We gotta plan an anniversary special
or something.
So what's going on, sis? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Welcome to everybody out there in Facebook and YouTube land. We hope that you all have enjoyed this season. I'm happy to be back. I came back at the end of the season. I was here in the beginning, I'm here in the end, but things happen, work, duty calls, responsibilities call, but I'm so happy to be back in the saddle with my girl, Coach Terry. Coach Terry.
Glad you're back. We're glad you're back.
So there's a whole bunch going on in the sports world.
Man.
Whew. NBA Finals.
My Lakers got swept.
I'm so mad. I'm like, dang, LeBron. But here's the crazy thing. I know everybody gonna blame LeBron, right? Like he can't do nothing right. You either love him or you hate him. There's literally no in between with this man at all. And I really don't understand it. Like I don't
understand it. Like, I totally get the whole MJ versus LeBron, right? To me, MJ is the GOAT. Mm-hmm. MJ is the absolute GOAT. But what I love about LeBron are his off-the-court antics.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not respect this man that is still with his baby mama? They got pregnant young. They're still together. I've never heard about him cheating or having an affair. They have never dared their dirty laundry if they've had any. He has a school. He's put all his boys on. He's not scared to speak out on social issues on his social media. MJ ain't do none of that.
But I also think it's a different time. It's a different era. They're playing at a totally different time. We did not see all of these social issues when MJ was playing, right?
Right.
We saw some of it. There was obviously,
but there's also more social media outlets too that we didn't have.
Exactly. Like people are acting up at the same clip as before, right? But the clip that is being aired publicly, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different. So I think that if you look at baseline, right? Who's the GOAT? Just going straight off play. MJ's got 6 rings, LeBron has 4. MJ's never been swept in a playoff series. LeBron has several times. I think 3, maybe more. I have to look up all the other.
There's lots of stats that you could probably do to compare, but to me, there's no comparison.
There are a lot of stats that you can compare, right? There are a lot of things that you can compare one thing to the other.
But LeBron is the all-time leading scorer in the league.
Yeah, but does that make you the GOAT? Because if we're
but
looking
that doesn't necessarily make you the GOAT. Because.
Look at Bill Russell. Bill Russell, he got 11 rings.
Yes.
So why he not in the conversation?
Why he not the GOAT?
Why he not?
Yeah. Why is Bill Russell not the GOAT instead of MJ?
He had 11 rings, right? That's almost double MJ.
Yeah. So why? Yeah, I don't understand why Bill Russell isn't in the naming of who the GOAT is with the number of championships and stuff. And then he did it in an era where they're traveling and he's not even allowed to sleep in the hotel room with the team.
That's all I can do is like,
you know what I'm saying? So how does that not make him the GOAT? That he persevered through the racial tension and stuff like that he had to deal with,
right?
With traveling with the team, where he wasn't welcome to even lay his head with his team.
Listen here.
I'm just saying. And he got 11 rings. I don't know why he's not named the GOAT.
So here's some things. I got into a whole Twitter conversation over this, right? There's this podcast called HBCU Nightly. And when I tell you these folks get on this show and they just speak off of their feelings, it's just nothing but feelings and opinions. And I'm coming like, y'all talking about media rights, right? But you don't, not only do you not work in athletics, you don't even work in media. And you can't even pull facts in to have an intelligent conversation. So what are we talking about here? So this one guy started talking about branding. Now,
about who?
Branding. Like branding for the Bayou Classic, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm not even gonna give you my credentials. I'm not even gonna tell you what I do. We're just gonna have a little conversation here. So we're going back and forth. He's not disrespectful or anything. He's just not knowledgeable. So I'm gonna let you speak your piece on what your opinion is, but I'm gonna hit you with some facts. So now he's saying one thing, and I'm saying actually it doesn't work that way. It's not just up to the schools to brand if they're in a classic or a championship or something like that. It's up to everybody. It's all parties are involved, right? He coming back with something, and I was like, but it doesn't work that way. That's not how this works. But let me give you some more information so you know how it works. And then he would say, agree. And then he would make another point. And finally, I was like, listen here. If there is a head-to-head matchup, right, then the two schools promote that head-to-head matchup. If it's a championship, a classic, or some other special event, then it's up to the people that are hosting that championship or that event to come up with the marketing plan and the promotional plan and lead that efforts. And then they communicate with the two schools that are in the competition or whoever is involved, right? And then everybody promotes the event. That's how it works. Branding for a championship, branding for a classic does not start with the individual schools. It's not how it works. So I said that, and his last tweet to me was agree. Yes. I'm not going back and forth with you out of my way, left and right, to prove my credentials, right? I'm not going to tell you what I do. I'm going to see how far of a hole you dig yourself into with your opinions. But what I'm going to do is give you some factual information to try to educate you so you eventually will know what you're talking about. Whether you choose to accept my facts based off of my experience and my expertise, that's on you. But I don't have to prove to you that I'm worth whatever. You don't accept that anyway because I'm a woman. So you can't receive what I'm saying because you as a man, you want to yakety yak 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 yak, and you want to talk X's and O's, but we're not talking X's and O's. X's and O's is for a different conversation. So you want to try to quiet me by talking X's and O's, but guess what? I know the X's
and O's too.
I know the X's and O's too. So what are we talking about? Come on. So anyway. Folks are funny. Social media is funny because everybody has an opinion about stuff. And if you prove your opinion or support your opinion, I may not agree with you, but I respect your opinion because you're coming to me with some facts. If you don't come to me with facts, maybe what are we talking about? I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm not even going to entertain no foolishness.
Entertain. There's nothing to talk about. We can move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we're out, we'll be just out to eat and just having cocktails or something, and we'll be watching a game or whatever, and somebody is having a conversation, whether it's football or basketball or something, there'll be dialogue, and I'm like you don't even know what you're talking about, or you'll be like, well, that shouldn't have been, well, that's a college rule as opposed to NFL rule. So make sure you know the rules. You're, so stuff like that just happens all the time. Like, no, that's not right because that's not the rule. And, then they're looking at you as a female, like, well, what? There's rules. Okay, I coach women tackle football and we use NCAA rules, so I have to know NCAA rules. I love watching NFL, so I learn the NFL rules. Oh, and by the way, I coach middle school, so those rules are different too. And you got to know all the freaking rules. And my husband is a white hat. And so you don't think that we don't have those conversations and he doesn't enlighten me on what the freaking rules are, because we're always in a fight against referees or officials about the freaking rules. The biggest issue in a game is, can y'all please know the freaking rules? This is middle school. That's a college rule. Or even this past weekend, we're all the way up in the game. They're offsides and it's an inverted whistle. We're like, what are you blowing the whistle dead for? Oh, my bad. I'm apologize. Okay, but we're about to score, and now we can't get that playback. But you're apologizing because you inadvertently blew your whistle, and the play is stopped at your whistle, right? And so know what you're doing. But that's the kind of conversations that you always end up with on social media. And I no longer engage in, because people have their mindset on what they think that they know, especially when it comes to sports. And I just no longer engage the foolishness, because it's always somebody with the ego, or they're pulling their stuff out to see who's the biggest, and and what and trying to get their ego stroked because they think that they know, and they don't know.
And it's so funny because I went so long without really using my master's degree, the emphasis, right? But now it's like, it feels like every week I got to pull in some sociological perspective into athletics, because I'm like, no, it's this way because this is what's going on in society, right? Folks are acting up, folks are cutting up, folks are doing this, that, and the third, because sports mimics
society.
It mimics society. It's still real life. So someone that's cutting up in real life, eventually it's going to infiltrate their play. It's going to impact their career, their play, whatever the case is. Hello, Morant, right? Can we talk about Ja?
Let's talk about Ja. Morant? Go ahead and break it down for us. What's going on with Ja?
So he's back in the news.
Yes, with the showing the gun, and then got suspended, but the half of the season or something like that. I don't know.
Yes, but so today's news, he had some cryptic IG posts today. So they actually did a welfare check on him. He had posts up, and one of them was one of his posts just simply said bye. So let me see if I can. I'm gonna see if
So somebody thought you took that as a possibility of a suicide situation.
correct. But he had some other posts. It wasn't just that one.
Okay.
And so, girl, Bleacher report done logged me out again. I'm sick of them.
Mm.
They log me out like every other day. And of course I don't remember my password. Like um let me see here. Um I'm sorry. Okay. It was his Instagram story. Love your ma, love your pops. You the greatest baby girl, love you. And then it said bye. And he deleted the post, but that series
Somebody,
of stories that went up were kind of like weird and concerning. So someone called to have a welfare check done on him. And I I feel like he he's got a lot going on. Okay, he's 23. Obviously there's a lot of pressure on him, right? And if you look at his mom and dad, like they're not really giving him the best example of how to handle pressure, you know. And I think we dove into it a little bit last week talking about his parents. Um, he's young, he's got a kid, right? So his daughter's what, 2 or 3? So you had your child when you still growing up yourself.
yeah,
But now you in a position where you're making millions. You don't have the right people around you. Like those are not his friends. We talked about that last week. These are
right,
not your friends because your friends wouldn't be constantly up there like this, ooh,
right,
knowing you about to do something foolish. And what
right,
do? Hit the record button. They setting
right.
you. They
Yeah,
want you to. They want you to go down, right?
yeah,
So my concern for him is he's going through some stuff, obviously mentally and emotionally, but he doesn't have anybody in his corner that is able to pull him to the side and get him away from some of this and support him in a way that's not public unless it needs to be, but can also say, what are you doing?
yeah.
It's not illegal to have a gun, it's not illegal to carry, right? But
But the NBA has rules of
yes,
conduct.
correct. And so my concern is for people who know that there's a code of conduct, but then do stuff that goes against the conduct knowingly, right? And you've apologized once and got suspended for 8 games. First of all, his first suspension should have been longer than 8 games. That's my first thing. Secondly, and I believe things would be so much better if we all adopted this. Um, the only apology I'm accepting is changed behavior.
It's changed behavior.
And so you can apologize all you want. You can have your PR people write the most amazing statements. But until your behavior changes, you are not truly remorseful for what you've done. Because you keep doing the same exact thing. Literally the same exact thing. and nothing is clicking to say, hey, don't do this. Like my homies want to show me in a car having fun. Okay, cool. But even his boy that was recording was making like the gun, with his hands. So y'all obviously have that same mindset. This is something that you do when y'all get together. Cause y'all keep doing the same stupid thing together. So that's why I'm saying, like, these are not his friends. You got the wrong people in your corner. And you are losing millions. He just lost his shoe deal last week. So my whole thing is, who are you trying to impress? And what part of you internally is so
convicted
you
there's always
to be somebody else?
Is this a mental health issue? I mean, we've seen athletes all the time that does stupid stuff. We can go back as far as
Sean Kemp, Gilbert Arenas,
Dennis Rodman. Oh my God. Just ignorant. Right, just ignorant. Right. And you don't learn from those people. The first thing when you get into a agent or whatever like that, it should be showing you what not to do.
Yeah.
The examples of what not to do. Okay. Don't be showing up with the foolishness like this. Again, like I said, but sometimes we're also dealing with with a child that thinks he knows more than what he does. Right. And sometimes when they get to that age and they're smelling themselves, you just can't tell them nothing. So they just got to learn the hard way.
I also think that society has become so enthralled and addicted and enamored with guns that, like, it's not only normal, but I was trying not to go here tonight because I feel like this could be a whole show. And I know people are like, oh my God, here go Danny again. She talk about race. But let's be honest about this. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. You have white politicians up here sending Christmas cards with their kids holding
guns and holding rifles. Yeah.
AR-15s or 17s, whatever it is, right?
That should be illegal. Right?
So they do that, and it's patriotic and their Second Amendment right. The moment a black man holds a gun, you ready to talk about he militant, he's this, he's that. He ain't his fatherless home, and he's a gangster, he's a thug. What are these politicians? So there's this, like, you're enamored with guns, but there's also a racial aspect to it that makes it okay for a white politician to hold a gun and give it to his underage minor child who probably is at the point where they may not even be able to tie their shoe. And you like, oh yeah, yes, that's my senator, that's my politician. You all up, you feel aroused by that, but you have black men who may show a gun, and now all of a sudden you feel, oh my gosh, clutch my purse, clutch my pearls, hold my purse, walk in the other direction for what? Nothing that I'm doing is illegal, so why are you scared? The operative characteristic is not the gun that I'm toting or showing or brandishing, right? Because that's the key word, right? Politicians are shown with a gun, right? But a black man holds a gun and it's all of a sudden brandishing a gun, and the word brandishing has a negative connotation to it anyway. So you automatically using words that are going to cause fear in the people that are reading the article, looking at the pictures and all of that. That's why I always say racism is both systematic and systemic. And for these politicians that continue to say America is not inherently racist, yes, it is. You had to make amendments to the Constitution to ensure that black people were not a portion of a person. I mean, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how society is, in fact, inherently racist. Let's talk about the fact that there are certain constructs in society that are made to systematically and systemically keep the oppressed people oppressed. That leads me to my next point about HBCU student athletes, specifically football, who go through the draft undrafted, but then you wait until rookie camp, preseason camp this,
Offer them a
quarterback camp,
contract.
running back camp, and now all of a sudden I got $1 million contract. Well, why wasn't I good enough to be drafted? And let me tell you why. It's a means of keeping people oppressed, right? Because what I don't want you to see is this black child with all of the support and a whole community of people, because society for decades has said black families are disconnected. Black families are fatherless, single mother homes, this, that, and the third. And what you will see with these young men who are often getting drafted, it's not that they are fatherless. In fact, it's often quite the opposite. They not only got daddy there, mommy there, they got brother, sister, cousin, auntie, uncle, grandma, all of them. Pastor there, right? But you don't want us to see that, because society says this is the stereotype of black families, specifically black men, that we have to perpetuate. And if we show them being supported, being loved, being emotional, oh no. Now the myths and the stereotypes that we've perpetuated for so long are now being debunked, because now what do? So now you don't get to see these black kids celebrating unless they go to a PWI. How you gonna sign me 2-3 weeks after the draft? That means I was good enough for you to draft me. Come on now.
But Dion created something, and what they don't want to do is they want to perpetuate the illusion that you have to go to a PWI in order to get drafted. Yeah. Hands down. That's the narrative that they want, and so they're probably not going to, they're going to continue to not draft out of the HBCUs for that particular reason. Otherwise, black boys are going to be like, well, let's go to the HBCUs and build them up, and they don't want that to happen.
They don't. And again, they don't want it to happen, again, because there's also this perception that HBCUs are lesser than. Going to an HBCU means you step down. Oh, you're not going to get the exposure. Well, why not? The reason you're not going to get the exposure, and that's a whole other topic, right? Because exposure is not about, exposure is really about what is accessible, but also what is made available to you. You ain't got to go to ESPN to get exposure. And I really want HBCU leaders to understand that the value and the worth of an HBCU experience goes far beyond what ESPN is willing to do. ESPN wants to throw $750,000 for 2 teams to split for being put on air. for one game. One game. But then you cutting deals. You cutting deals with the Pac-12. You cutting deals with these big conferences, and you can't you you where's the money going? How you have $5 million for a PWI conference to air their games, but you want to throw peanuts at HBCUs
that they got to split.
that they have to split, and you saying, "Oh, this one game should be good enough for you." No, 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 no. That's not good enough, and it's not good enough because if you really want to invest in HBCUs and you really believe that Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff that y'all spew, I don't want a DEI coin word. I'm not going to be your DEI token person. If you are not going to consistently and continuously implement tactics and strategies that promote and put your DEI efforts on the forefront, then it's a dog whistle. It's not a tactic. It's not a strategy. It's not one of your values. It's a dog whistle. And we have to, as HBCUs, and one of the things that we are striving to do in our conferences, you can put your dog whistle to the side. We don't need it. You wouldn't give us a seat at your table, so here we built our
own table.
We built our own. Thank you. Thank you. But I want more HBCU leaders to have that same authority for creating their own worth. Like, you not gonna tell me what I'm worth. I'm going to show you. And if you don't accept it, that's not my fault. That's yours. You're short-sighted. Seeing someone or something, the worth of something, takes a visionary. Like, you really have to be visionary to understand the value of something. And if you're not a visionary, you will never look at these HBCUs as being worth your time, your money, your energy, your blood, your sweat, your tears. You're never going to view us that way. But you should. You should. We've never been irrelevant. We've never been worthless. And so for anyone to treat us as such, they're doing that because that's been the history of this country. And for far too long, white people have gotten away with dogging us and telling us what we're worth, as opposed to having that vision to say you're worth more. Or I'm going to invest in you now because I know this investment is going to be a great return for all of us. And the more I support the plight of Black and brown people, the greater this country will be. But because our country is, in fact, inherently racist, what we see in athletics, what we see in media, is a direct reflection of how this country was built. And anyone that says that they don't see that or they don't believe that, baby, your eyes are closed and you need to open them and you need to flick the switch so that light bulb comes on so you can see more clearly. Because it's obvious. It's in plain sight.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder could see it.
Honey. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and whoever else.
Well, you dropping jewels, sis. William Jackson said it too. You dropping them today.
Hey. But anyway, I guess I'm off my soapbox for a little bit. But that kind of stuff gets me fired up. And I think that while I do believe Ja Morant should be held responsible, I also want us to have the right lens and the right perspective on things and see that I don't believe that he should be the poster child for anything because he's still a child.
Yeah.
I don't believe that he needs to be the example of anything because there's so many other things that are going on in his world that need attention. And to give attention to the wrong thing at this time will take him it it's going to cause him to regress even more. And that's not what he needs right now. It's not what he needs at all. So anyway, I know I went off.
That's you.
You know that kind of stuff.
You gonna come with the sociological point of view, perspective. That's it. That's you.
I'm happy I get to use my graduate degree for something. But so what's going on with you? Let's talk Derby City. We need to talk Derby City. We need to get some updates. I know. Don't roll your eyes now. Don't roll your eyes.
Oh my God. We had offsides. The other team was offsides. We had a wide open lane to score a touchdown, and there was an inadvertent whistle. There was another time where we got an interception, and he said that she stepped out of bounds when she didn't. Twice. That happened twice. Because she was getting ready to run it back, and all of a sudden they're saying that she ran out of bounds. Right. Of course, we can verify all the stuff on videotape.
Right.
Then there's another time where one of our defensive players grabbed the back of the jersey, like middle of the back, and kind of just swung her to the ground, and they called that a horse collar. When I tell you the calls that we got were just mind-blowing.
Sounds like a Thai championship game.
Mind-blowing. Yeah. And you can kind of feel that as soon as the officials walked on the field. You're like, uh-oh. We're in Grand Rapids where there's only I think they might have had 2 minorities on their team. And then there was no diversity with the officiating crew. And so we was like, uh-oh. And I'd be darned if it was unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a must win for us, for both teams. And of course, we didn't come out as the victor. For obvious reasons. There was no way we were going to win that game. And they made sure of it. But it is what it is. You live and learn. You live and learn. And so that's that. So we have our next home game is on June the 3rd. I think we have 2 more games, and that's it. I don't think we'll make the playoffs this season. I have the middle school state championship at Eastern in Louisville this Saturday. I have 22 kids that qualify for state.
Wow.
I'm excited for that. My 4x8 was the number 1. I think we dropped to number 3, but we at one time we held the number 1 time in the state. So those kids are excited, and they're looking forward to redeeming themselves. We took 2nd in the county, behind Leestown. If Leestown goes, they should do give the state a good run for their money as well too, because they got some really really good kids. Of course, they swept all the major sports in middle school this year. Leestown did. They won football,
I was gonna say
basketball,
they want
and track.
football.
Yeah, they won football, basketball, and track championships this year. So shout out to Leestown, and Coach Sterling Woodward. So proud of him. We got a black coach that did it, and then that's considered a North Side school. And
Leestown
so
is.
Leestown is right, and so that it's like the first time in like 20 years, like I know for football, that a North Side school has won a championship. And so the South and the other school, I don't know what they call the other schools. I don't know, the non-North Side schools, um, haven't won championships in years in the city. They get dominated by, Jesse Clark and Hayes and stuff like that have been dominating. They have different demographics than the North Side schools as far as the student athletes. So, um, so we're excited about that. Other than that, I don't know. That's all that's going on with me. I got track. I can't wait till it's over. Love it, but I am tired. I am tired because on
You've been
Mondays and
doing a
Wednesdays
lot this year.
we've been
You
having
haven't
track
stopped.
meets. Sorry.
What's Shadow?
Ty must have just came home.
I was gonna say one of your.
Yeah, I think Ty came home. Hey, so you know, oh, my schedule has been so freaking hectic. So Mondays and Wednesdays we was having track meets, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays we would have practice. But then I would leave practice after being at work all day, and then drive to Louisville and go to football practice, right? And so when I tell you your girl is exhausted, oh my God, it's an understatement, And then Saturday we played in Grand Rapids. Well, Ty had the Carter G graduation and the signing on Sunday, and that started at 1:30. So we got up Saturday morning. I rented a truck for it was like 5 of us that rode with me, and I drove all the way to Michigan, and then we played the game. We got in the truck and drove back. So I got home like 3:30 in the morning Sunday morning.
Oof, Jesus.
And it's and at my age, it's hard getting over that. You just can't get enough sleep.
I feel like I'm still trying to recover from being from being gone. Like for real.
Right.
I was I was talking to my boss today for my end of year evaluation. I was telling her, I was like, I'm just trying to get through June, because come July, I'm out.
Right.
But July is like, June is like our May and June are like our planning time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then July it's like everybody 1, 2, 3 break. you know
Right.
But you do need that time to recover, and I'm finding more and more I need that time
Yes.
to disconnect and unplug, and because I'm a workaholic.
And I am too. Like,
And it doesn't bother me. Like, you're
yeah,
not
my
gonna
work
make me
ethic
feel
is
bad.
unbelievable. But
Yeah, you can't make me feel
because
bad
I'm getting
for working.
older, yeah, I just, I'm just more exhausted than normal.
Listen here.
Yeah, and so, um, I'm doing a lot. I'm not even gonna like before we got on today, we had a meeting with Layshoff. We were with the nominations committee and a selection committee,
Yeah.
about revamping our whole that whole process, or just upgrading it or whatever like that. So, I've still got Layshoff going on, and the gala is in September, our second annual event. And so it's the planning period. It's just on and popping. So me, I always got a lot, but I'm not mad because I'm doing things that I absolutely freaking enjoy doing.
That's how I feel.
I mean, I
And I think
enjoy doing. I mean, I enjoy coaching, track. I enjoy coaching my girls with football. I absolutely love Lace Off and that organization, what it stands for. You make time for and you make the sacrifices for what you want to do.
Right.
You know, work is work, so you have to show up for that. Because that's what pays the bills. But it's in the way. I gotta figure out something else. I ain't even gonna lie, work in the way. I gotta find something else that could replace that where I'm not working as hard or something else. So I works in a way, the job's in a way. That going to that plantation then got old,
Whew.
right? You're just so blessed that when you go to work, it don't seem like work because it's something that you actually, that you enjoy. You know,
Yeah.
so you're just so blessed for that.
Your time is coming though. I mean, it's here. Like you said, that job is in the way.
Yeah, because I
It
had
is
an
in
incident that happened today that just came out of nowhere, and it was like, okay, this season is up. You know what I'm saying? Like this season is up because like where did this come from? And it
right.
was like, okay, I hear you. I see it. I see it. And it's getting to the point where it's pushing me to either start looking or or just be more intentional with doing something differently.
Right. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I
because
feel
today
that.
was just like, are you serious?
I felt like that too. And I feel like when we start to feel really uncomfortable in our positions, that's a lot of time when God comes swooping in
Mm-hmm.
and says, "All right, here you go."
Here you
And
go. Your time's up here. This
yeah,
season's over,
he moves us.
and he'll move us when we're taking too long to move.
That part.
That's what happened to my baby. She was
Mm-hmm.
moving too slow. God moved
Moving
her,
too slow. And God said,
and then now you got a $25,000 a year raise. Where they do
"Listen,
that at? Because you was taking too long. Look at God. Yeah. I feel like the same thing with me, especially after today. Today was a unusual. Like, where did that come from? I mean, it was totally just um, out of left field, and it was like unusual. So I was like, okay, I hear you. I'll start looking.
mm-mm-mm."
I'll start looking. But yeah, it's crazy. But just do something. But just to be, life is too short not to be doing something you enjoy doing and that you're passionate
Right.
about, and that you're able to, um, nurture those relationships or passions that you have, and be able to do things that you enjoy doing.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
true.
I enjoy even coaching track. It was challenging, but then at the same time, it was like some of the kids they think I'm mean. But then you're always hugging on me. As soon as you see me, you're always giving me a hug. And some of the other coaches noticed that. They was like, "You're the mean one, but you're the only one that get hugs."
Listen, you still mama to a lot of them, so
Yeah, you're the only one that get hugs. You the mean one, but you're the only one that get hugs. That don't make no sense. I said, it don't make sense to me either. Because I be wanting to jack them up. But
oh, man, I'm trying
yeah,
to tell you.
we're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to state championship. I'm looking forward to it just to see how we respond. I don't have any expectations because it's state. Um, but I'll be glad when it's over to get a
I
break.
feel you. I
Yeah.
feel
So next week, my schedule will open back up next week when I'm not because I won't be coaching track, and then I don't know how many more weeks I have of football because I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs this season
gotcha.
unless we miraculously pull off some crazy wins on these next two wins. So we'll
So
see.
it's June 3rd.
June 3rd is our next home game. Yeah, and then I don't know what. Hold on, let me pull the schedule up. June 3rd is our next game. So we got this weekend off, and then that'll be in the Louisville or wherever, or Jeffersonville. Um, It'll be in Jeffersonville. Where is the calendar?
I was trying to find. I saw a graphic up, and I can't find the graphic.
I got it in my phone, and I'm like, where is it? Oh, here it is. Or is this an old one? Oh yeah, June. Oh, it looks like June 10th. June 3rd. It looks like June 10th we go to St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah. So June 3rd is our last home game against Columbus, and then June 10th is our. Oh, we might be done June 10th. That's sooner than what I thought. Than I expected, unless we're able to pull off something miraculous on those two games. Because St. Louis is a pro team, and Columbus is like is the number one team in our division. So if we pull those off, it could maybe possibly um, help us to squeak by into the playoffs. But it would be like a squeaky to squeak. Like we would have to really, like, literally blow both of those teams out in order to make the playoffs. So other than that, I might be done after June 10th, which isn't far away. That's only 3 weeks. What, 3 weeks?
Yes, 3 weeks.
3 weeks away. So yeah, because June
Really
10th.
only like 2.5. It's only 2 weeks.
2.5. Yeah.
So I'll be in Orlando.
Okay.
They haven't put it out yet. It's not social media public yet, but I'm pretty excited. I get to be a guest speaker on a panel for the NACTA conference. It's part of the MOA group. MOA is Minority Opportunities in Athletic Administration, and so they have a diversity, equity, and inclusion panel that kind of talks about. Well, we're going to discuss how athletic departments have dealt with social injustice and still being a champion for DEI, and maybe even addressing some of the things that their student athletes of color are experiencing due to social injustice. So that's right up my alley. Like I get to talk.
I know that's right. They chose the right one for that one.
Right. So I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. My boss is she gonna be my videographer for the day. Hey, Coach Kiki, Dr. Kiki. She said she's coming. She gonna take pictures and do some video for me. So it's gonna be interesting to have the tables turned on me. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I said I wanted to do more speaking and more training of people, especially Black and brown people. Like I feel like there's the space for us in athletics as well as media, and then the that mesh point of athletics media, I think, is so important and critical to have diverse voices in those spaces, because for so long our voices have been silenced, and that's why you see so many professional athletes who get involved with social injustice or socioeconomic issues and things like that. And so many people have this view of shut up and dribble, or shut up and throw the ball, shut up and play your sport. But at like, I'm still human.
Right.
They're still human. And so we need them and we want them to have a voice, because without their voices, we're only hearing the voices of the people that are creating the rules and regulations and policies and procedures that have for far too long kept us oppressed. So why would you not want those people in these spaces and speaking. It's mind blowing that we still have this view. And then to have states like Florida who are now saying, you're not allowed to learn about these historical events and perspectives because they don't fit the agenda of white nationalists, right?
Right.
So you're banning books, you're banning certain classroom, certain curriculum, and the point is what?
Right.
Why are we doing this?
Right. Because y'all don't want to feel bad. Because it
Yeah,
makes you feel bad. It makes you feel some type of way.
or you don't want us to see your great grands
Right. Or we don't, yeah, you
in
don't
these
want
history
us to
books.
see, yeah, who you're
You-
attached to, that was a whole part of that whole narrative.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Just like Mr. William Jackson said, diverse voices are critical in those spaces. And you did pull a great point on it. Thanks, Mr. Jackson.
yes, thank you. And Mr. Jackson, I believe he is. Oh man, Mr. Jackson, I'm gonna get your whole title wrong. I don't. I believe you are in Indianapolis as a. I know you're in politics, but I promise I can't remember. I'm gonna have to. That's so terrible. I know his face. I know
Right.
I don't know if he's a congressman or city council or something. I know the name and the face, and he's from Indianapolis. So that's going to drive me bonkers. But I can't go off the screen because when I go off the screen, my whole thing is going to be blank. So, Mr. Jackson, please comment and let us know. Candidate for Indianapolis City Council District 20.
Let's
Thank you.
go.
Let's go. Mr. Jackson, welcome to the show. Um, all right. So candidate for Indianapolis City Council District number 20. Shout out to your district. Shout out to Indianapolis for joining the show tonight. We need some sound of season 4. I'm gonna step our game up so we get some sound effects so we can have like the hand clapping, the sound effects and all of that. I gotta get that. I gotta get that. I gotta get that for us. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your feedback. And just for commenting here, he's watching live on Facebook, so welcome to the show. We hope that you will subscribe to our YouTube channel. Can I put the YouTube information up again? Let me see. Where is our banner? I just had it up. Here we go. All right. So if you have not already, it's great that you're following on Facebook, but we actually need you to head to YouTube, youtube.com/@hits and heels. That is the direct link to our channel. We have 3 seasons. 3 seasons. We have more than 30 episodes of Hits and Heels on YouTube right now. You can binge watch us. Okay. I know y'all got Bridgerton and all of that, right? I know y'all got those shows. You got Bridgerton and Games of Thrones and the Hunger Game. Is that right? Hunger Game? Whatever
No,
shows
I
y'all
don't watch none of that.
watching, add us to your binge watching menu and catch up. Go start with season 1, episode 1, right? Because that was even a dope show. Like we started
The
off
very first one.
we started off with some heat, but make sure that you all go to youtube.com/@hits and heels, like, subscribe, and make sure you share this show with your friends and family. Share it with the people that don't think women should be talking sports. Share it with the people that don't know anything about sports. Share it with the women in your life that need to see some other women talking about sports. We're here for it all, and we welcome you all into our space. This our space. This our show. And so we created it for people just like you and her and him and them, right? It's really a show for everybody. We have fun. We took our regular day-to-day conversations and turned it into a show. This is how Terry and I talk to each other on a regular basis. Every day.
That's how we
Every day.
talk. Just
That's
hours
what we
upon
do.
hours upon, and that's how we brought about Hits and Heels. We was like, oh my God, we just had some deep conversation. We both were coaching football at the time, which is rare that you see females coaching football, and it just blossomed from there.
Yep. Well,
And here we are,
here we are.
30 episodes in.
30. We got more than 30 because the first
Is it
season
more
I
than
think
30?
was 12. I think so. I
Was
think we
it?
did
Was it
12
more
and
than 10?
then
Oh,
10
did we
and
do
10.
12 the first season?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
I've got to look, but I
Okay.
think we did 12, 10, and 10.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So season 4 will lead us almost right up to our 1 year anniversary. I think our 1 year anniversary is in September.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I think it's in September.
So
It'll be close.
it'll be very close. Very, very close. So we're hoping that we can obviously get our subscriptions up on YouTube, not only to monetize what we do, but to also cast a wider net and get more people involved. And you know, you can advertise if you have a business, if you have a team, you're running for office. Shameless plug. But whatever it is that you're doing, even if you have your own business, um, uh, we would love to give you the opportunity to advertise with us and put your business out there. So make sure you hit us up. Hello at hitsandheels.com. I'll put it hitsandheels.com. I don't know what happened to my banner for this, but um, that is our email address. Hello at hitsandheels.com. If you are interested in being a guest, if you are interested in advertising with us, or you want to make an investment in our programming because it costs us how much to run this show? Right around $600 a year between our broadcasting and email and all of that. We're looking at about $600 a year to run this show. And this is just the beginning of what we're doing. So we definitely want to take this opportunity. One of our goals has always been to bring others with us and to elevate the voices of the people that we have said that we wanted to serve. And so if that is you, we ask that you send us an email and let us know what it is that you need. And let's find a way to work together and partner together. We are here to encourage, enlighten, empower, and educate, especially women in athletics. So go ahead, youtube.com/@hits and heels. Subscribe. And then follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Hits and Heels. Terry, it's the end of season 3.
About that, the end of season 3. That's good stuff.
That's good stuff, man. That's great. That's great. I'm excited. I'm excited for season 4, and I'm excited for year number 2 already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, coming up. That's crazy.
We are almost there. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for your support, for your love, for your comments, for hitting that like, share, and comment button. We appreciate you all more than you know, and we'll appreciate you even more when you head to that YouTube channel and subscribe. So with that, that's all we got. Oh, are we taking a break next week? What are we doing? We doing our normal 2 week 2-step plan. Get ready for season 4. Or are we going straight to season 4?
We could take a break.
You
I
know,
just took 2 weeks off.
I
Because
just
I
got
was
back,
sick.
so I'm like I just got back. But yeah, so make sure that you guys are not just tuned in, but you have your notifications turned on so that when we do post updates, you'll be the first to know. And we have I think we have some pretty great stuff planned going into season 4 and especially the new year, year number 2 of our show. And so,
I mean, they've all been good. We've had some great guests. So they've all been good. I'm excited for the future.
me too.
All right, girl, we out.
Love y'all. See y'all. Oh, and rest in peace to the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner.
Dang, we lost Tina Turner today.
Lost Tina Turner today.
And we lost Jim Brown last week.
Yeah, we lost Jim Brown. That's a whole look. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a show about how to separate the athlete and the celebrity from who they actually are as real people. Because some of y'all don't know the difference. And some of y'all think that a great athlete means that they're a great person. But that ain't always the case. No disrespect to those that have passed on, but it's no different than Bill Cosby. Okay. Heath Heathcliff Huxtable ain't Bill Cosby. Okay. Right. One is a real person and the other one is a TV show character. And so we have to learn how to separate who these people are outside of what we see them do so that we have the correct perspective of them as a human being that has a different role. But like I said, that's a whole separate show. And you know me, I'm going to ruffle some feathers with that show. But whatever. I ain't gonna keep talking because we're gonna end up with episode 11 if I keep going. So let's go. Let's get out.
All right, girl. We out.
We out. Love y'all. See y'all. Peace.